Hello, everybody. I am joined by Grandmaster Jacob Aagaard. He is a former British champion. He is an author. He is the co-owner of Quality Chess, a publishing house, where he has also published many books. We are here at the Charlotte Chess Center, where Jacob is one of the coaches for the elite camp, among some very big names, and he has graciously agreed to give us some of his time for an interview. How are you, Jacob?
I am fine, thank you very much. Remember also to say I'm a co-owner of KillChessTraining.com.
Pardon me, I left out with a person with such an illustrious CV, it is very easy to forget things. So first of all, tell me about the Chess Center here. Tell me about the elite camp. How are things going?
So this is my 5th year doing the elite camp. The last 2 years I had to do it online. It was actually in person last year, but I had to be, just on the screen via Zoom because foreigners were not allowed to travel to the US last year. But it's it's a growing camp. It's really great. It gives us a chance to meet kids from all over the US. There's a lot of local kids, of course, but also many who travel from other states. We have each coach has a 1.5 hour lesson with the students every day, so we get 3 lessons. And then there's Daniel Naroditsky is also here as a coach. He comes in the afternoon and gives them some exercises to work with. So it's a very intense camp. It's the atmosphere is always really, really great. There's a few adults, mainly kids. The love of chess is all around here. The people at the Charlotte Chess Center are taking exceptionally good care of us. Peter Giannatis, Grant Owen, Dominic Myers, Alex Velasquez. Yeah, it's just a thrill, really, to come here. I hope they will have me back, but 5 times in a row, I'm the only name who's been here every time, so I think maybe I'll be swapped out soon.
The evidence,
which is fine, the kids don't want to come and see the tired old faces every time. So
if they don't invite you next time, I'm sure that is what it will be.
It will be. I'm invited to tournaments here, and I come and play, and we're all friends. It's good.
So what would a typical lecture be about, more or less, in broad strokes? Like, what are the kids learning? Or, well, they're not all kids. What are the pupils learning, I should say?
It's fair to call them kids. We're all kids at heart, aren't we? So I'm giving 5 lectures this week. So the first one was about Zugzwang, not like from studies and fanciful things. It was one of them, but mainly about how to use it in a technical way. And then moved on to fortresses yesterday, where we're showing positions where we breed fortresses and fortresses that hold. And there, Zugzwang is a big factor in that. And today, positions with one side has a rook and the other side a bishop, and various type of positions. And they're very much fortress based. So sort of, I developed a little 3-step lecture plan for them. Tomorrow, I'm going to show a very crazy game from the first round of Asrian Memorial, played in Armenia. And then on Friday, I'm going to set them up with some playing positions. So we play actually in the room where we're having this interview, play in a way that there will be some positions in the middle where they're playing, and then they go back to their corners and debate which moves they will play, and it'll be active thing. And especially some of the groups by Friday are going to be very tired and burning the candle in both ends. And it's important to give them something where they can be active and debating and shouting and so on, because the ability to sit still is raised to the ground.
So, as I understand, you do camps like this and general coaching things all over the world. You've done camps in other parts of the United States, and I heard that you did some in India. Do you notice any differences in sort of the culture of improving players, either between Americans and other nationalities, or maybe between Southern Americans and other sorts of Americans?
Well, yeah, I've done Europe, US, and Asia. And there's a general bigger respect and restraint in Asia than there is in Europe, and in Europe there's a little more restraint also than there is in the US. But this goes to national character. Americans are very immediate, which is great in many situations. In some situations, it's not great. In Europe, they're a bit more reserved, which is great in many situations. Other situations, not so great. It's more about national character. When it comes to how focused people are and how involved, it is always about age and playing strength. Playing strength is usually a reflection of how much people can concentrate also. It's a big part of it. So I don't think there's big differences. The pieces move the same way.
That's true. In your books, you talk a lot about the time in your life when you were trying to improve and trying to maintain a very strong level to be a professional player. That was a while ago now. How are things different for that sort of player these days that's trying to push their rating far up, that's trying to make a living from playing chess? What sort of tools would be different, or how is the task different for them now than it was before?
Okay, so openings are different. That would be a long discussion, but I think it's better if you take that with Peter, and he will explain a lot of things. He's just simply much more knowledgeable about openings than I am. But otherwise, the human psychology has not changed dramatically. I think the necessity of knowing endgames has increased as time to play the endgame has decreased. But otherwise, it's general. I don't think there's much difference. The reason why I think I'm have anything to offer as a writer and a coach is that I was not very talented, and in my pursuit of getting better in chess, I wouldn't say excellent, but in getting better, I did everything wrong. So normally I had to learn everything. I did it the wrong way, and normally when that happens, then you get a lot of experience. So
you are you're an author, and you're the co-owner of Quality Chess. And my question about that is, how is publishing chess books and publishing chess content in a textual form in general, how does that look in 2022, with the internet? I noticed that you all have some Chessable courses. What sort of challenges do you face in that respect?
It's another medium where you can reach people. We also have a good deal of books on Chess Tempo, I should say, which is not as well-known site, but has been there longer than Chessable, and it's really a great site to get our books in. There are some obstacles, there's some advantages. I would actually say that the biggest change to publishing in the last 10 years is the postage has increased a lot. Much more important than the digital aspects. Over the last 10 years, of course, if you take from 30 or 40 years ago, where you had to do everything manually and you didn't write them on computers, that was a huge change. The change in the strength of chess playing programs and the necessity in checking things has had a huge impact. The actual distribution of material, there's some new avenues, but from us it doesn't feel like the most revolutionary thing.
Yeah, I suppose the actual content itself hasn't changed much, just how much it costs to put it in the mail.
that has really gone up, and very recently it's been a lot. One of the problems is a lot of the world's containers are stuck in Chinese harbors. I should say here, just to mention it, because otherwise my family and my business partners will disown me, that I do have a new book coming out on the 13th of July. It's called A Matter of Endgame Technique, and it's less than 900 pages, as I like to say. When people ask how much, we say less than 1%. 896 pages.
Well, hopefully they can find it on the internet, either on the internet directly or get you to mail it to them, right?
Well, qualitychess.co.uk is always a good place to start.
That'll work. As an author, when you moved from playing chess to writing about it, what did you think of the state of chess books, and what was your philosophy as an author? What were you trying to do with your books?
Well, I always wrote about chess right from the beginning, and it started with like Club Magazine and even just for myself when I was a little kid in make-believe books. I was trying to write my own books. It was just always a natural part of my interaction with chess and the world. Is always to write things down. So I wrote my first book in '98, and I was offered to do it, and I wrote that one, and then I wrote another in '99. Then I was offered by another production company, but the same publisher, Everyman. I was offered to do some different books. And then from 2000 to 2004, it sort of increased the number of books I did for them. And one year I wrote or edited, co-wrote a third of their catalog. And I thought I didn't like what happened from the file I sent to the file that was published. And I had absolutely no problem with the people at Everyman. On a human level, everything was really nice and pleasant, and they were nice people to work with. But I wanted to be in control of the books myself, and I wanted to decide what was in the books. And in the end, that was sort of the little spark that ignited Quality Chess, and just another level of attention to detail, attention to quality, a higher level of ambition. We don't necessarily do what's easiest or what is most profitable, but we always enjoy going to work. And for me, this was really the most important thing.
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed your books greatly, and I know that I'm not the only one. Our time is getting a little short. Jacob has to get back to teaching the next generation. Thank you very much for your time, Jacob.
Thank you very much, Chris.